What'd you say to me? What'd you say to me?
Hi, I'm Desha T.
Rick Ballinger, lead vocals.
CC Murphy, rhythm guitar.
Steve Moore, drums.
Mark on bass.
And we are
Psycho Spoon ครับสวัสดีครับผมหนึ่งเดชาตั้งกิจเกียรติกุลนะครับมือกีตาร์ของวง Psycho Spoon Hi I'm Desha T I am the lead guitarist of Psycho Spoon Today I want to talk about how the band got
So
started.
how did you become a member of Psycho Spoon?
One day, I went to join the gym, and then I saw Rick. And when Rick saw me, he was like, "Hey, I know you," And I was thinking to myself, how he know me? And then, it kind of come to mind, that he's a singer of Psycho Spoon. And man.
So he asked you from the story that I got. He and Pete have basically. I mean, I tell you this much, from what I know, from day one of Psycho Spoon and from day one of Pete and my relationship together for about 5 years now, Pete has always just said your name, and he said that you're the guitarist for Psycho Spoon. So you've always been somebody that they wanted here. How long have you been a member of Psycho Spoon now?
How long is about 2 years now, I believe. I started Psycho Spoon on September 2012. That when I first met Rick at the gym, and then we start talking, about music and stuff. Until one day he asked me like, "Hey Desha, you come jam with us, And I keep pushing it off, Until one day I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna jam with them and see how it's go. Until one day I show up at the band practice and learn a couple songs and start jamming.
Just took off.
Just took off, and then they're like, "Man, you in, man, if you want,
Yeah. What were your reservations or your holdbacks for wanting to be in a band at the time?
At the time, I feel like, man, it's so much thing to do in life, I don't think I have time to put in music. But back in the time, I was playing show by myself, doing covers, doing jam music, Even when I'm not in the band, I still playing guitar, man, That's something I always do, on my own, either write up my own music, stuff like that.
All right, man. I appreciate your time.
Hey Dave, I'm Mark from Psycho Spoon. Thanks a lot for interviewing us. I started playing bass here a while back with these guys. They had a fantastic album already in the works, already done, ready to produce. I was absolutely blown away and real excited to be part of the band. So I feel like basically my role here is a translation of what was done on that record and try to get it as close to they had a fabulous bass player who just rocks my world, man. We can't say enough good things about the guy that laid down the tracks. So it's been really inspirational just to have fun with that, take those, translate it into a live situation. My role seems to be a combination of trying to bring all the stuff together. I lock in with Pete when I need to lock in with Pete, and I lock in with Desha on those licks that just kind of go out sometimes, and that's really fun. And trying to keep the best of both worlds is always a cool thing. It's to land on my feet all at the same time. If I have to do anything, it is the support role. I put that first and foremost because I had somebody tell me, somebody in the band needs to play bass. So since you're the one that has the bass around your neck, maybe it ought to be you. So sure, I like to go out and do some fancy stuff too, but I feel like I keep it rooted down, try to support the singer where he needs to be supported, and do all the good things right there. And then I'm gonna have fun rocking it the rest of the time, and I'm definitely gonna get my 2 cents and my licks in at some point. As far as my influences go, I started out listening to a lot of heavier stuff when I was young, and then it went all over the map to everything from folk to jazz to bluegrass. By the way, bluegrass pickers can blaze like heavy metal guys. I'd say bass-wise, Steve Harris, of course, that was a big interview. I know when I was a kid, I was listening to Geddy Lee, and I wanted to do the play like Geddy, sing like Geddy, have the keyboards and the Taurus pedals, all that bad stuff. But I'm just lucky enough to be in a band like Psycho Spoon right now and rocking it with these guys. But I think that about wraps it up for me. Thanks again for your time. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm CC, rhythm guitar for Psycho Spoon.
CC, how did you become a member of Psycho Spoon?
It's kind of a story of coincidence and I guess fate. I was playing in a band called Slave Driver, and we actually practiced right on the other side of this wall, the very next shed. And the first day that I came to Slave Driver practice, was sitting outside and I heard some drums, and I knew that the drummer wasn't here yet. So we came in and Rick and Pete were here, and it was their first day just moving in here. So, you know, met them, said, you know, hey, you know, and a couple months later, things just wasn't panning out with Slave Driver because it was, you know, a really long drive, and I had another band in Seneca that I was trying to get together, and so that band looked like it was going to come together. So I had to tell the guys in Slave Driver it just wasn't meant to be this time, and unfortunately the band in Seneca fell apart too, like the very next week. So a couple months go by, and saw Rick post. Actually, Rick wished me happy birthday on Facebook and said, hey, we're looking for a rhythm guitarist to keep your eyes out. And I just responded back and said, hey, I'm a rhythm guitarist, so I wish it wasn't such a far drive, because I'd love to try out for you guys. And then from there, he was just on me, just come jam with us, come jam with us. So sure enough, I did, and the rest is Psycho Spoon history, because here I am.
All right, thanks for your time, buddy.
Thanks, man.
All right, this is Dave Sellers with Psycho Spoon. We're going to talk about how the name came, how the origins of the name.
All
Rick,
right, the name Psycho Spoon. Back when I had the Curb Feelers, Pete and I met Pete in the 90s. We had the Curb Feelers going on. We're doing a lot of biker stuff, and I would change members in and out. Never did I ever cancel a gig, so I always get somebody on the sidelines ready to go. So, you know, finally one guy, after a show, he looks at me and he goes, you know, Rick, you're the Psycho Spoon that stirs the crazy gumbo. I'm like, I like that. That's cool. So that's pretty much where the name Psycho Spoon came from. And I am probably the Psycho Spoon that does stir the crazy gumbo.
Yeah.
He agrees with you on that.
And have never canceled a gig.
Never.
Never.
Canceled.
All right, so you came up with the name, and you and Pete were in the Curb Fillers. The Curb Fillers kind of took a break, and then when did y'all come back together and decide that y'all wanted to do something, and how long into that something did you decide that y'all wanted to call it Psycho Spoon?
Well, we came together after, like I said, after Dennis Riddle, our guitar player, passed away, and Pete and I kept going. And we got tired of doing the covers, and we wrote some songs with the Curb Feelers. That sort of, you know, what we were really looking for. So we decided, you know, I remember the guy saying that about the Psycho Spoon that stirs the crazy gumbo. So I'm like, hey, Pete, how about, you know, let's start a band, call it Psycho Spoon. So he was cool with that, and we just started writing songs. We hired a guitar player and had a few guys in and out, had another bass player, and just started writing some songs, like Pete said, with MP3s, and listened to them over and over and over, and that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, we just kept stuff that sounded good, you know, and put it together.
And now, this is something I talk about with Pete. You know, I kind of want to talk on it now. We can edit it out if we have to. But I've known you guys for a while. I've known you through all the personnel changes, and I knew the material from way back in the day. I noticed that a lot of the material has been reworked, the drums specifically, and then you brought, of course, different musicians in who are going to put their flavor on stuff. How did that come about?
Well, first of all, like on the album, we have Brent Boone playing bass, and did a fabulous job. And we can't thank this guy enough. Carl Sanders produced it, and he also played rhythm guitar on the CD. So that was just a big thing for us. You know, it was huge. So yeah. Other than that, you know, I'd also thank our manager, Forest Promotion, Sandy Mitchell. She's done a lot for us. She's hanging in there, and you know, we're all psychos, so she's dealing with that, and it's you know, quite a challenge for her.
All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to say? Pete, you want to get like about 10 minutes worth of?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Okay.
I turned my trash can upside down and took the bottom head off my snare to make it 4 times.
I think everybody knows that story.
Right.
I'm just
I
playing.
did want to mention we had Neil Kernan mix the album. If you don't know who Neil Kernan is, just Google his name. He's got a resume a mile long of artists that he's worked with over the years, from Queensryche to Judas Priest to Elton John. I mean, this guy's been around the music business for a long time.
Won a few Grammys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a few.
A few, yeah.
Yeah. And that's just easy by today's standard,
Very
right?
easy.
Just
And,
then you
he
can
has
go
a-
out and get those anywhere.
I'm pretty sure I pronounced this guy's name right. Alan
Douches.
Douches.
He mastered
he
the
mastered
CD.
the CD. He works with Neil. So he is a great guy also. So we want to throw his name
So
out
anyway,
there for sure.
we're promoting Incognito. If you don't have it, go out and get it.
Yes, and also we're going to be playing live August 23rd, Got Rocks.
Got Rocks.
We haven't really, we're picking out some bands to open for us. We've got some guys wanting to open. We haven't really decided who yet. So you guys definitely come there because it's going to be a rock show, and it is going to be balls to the wall, rock and roll.
Yes.
Also, I wanted to say we're finished up our video finally July 13th, the final production of that, Incognito, which is going to be the main song, title of the album. So you guys are going to have to definitely, that's going to be some kick-ass stuff right there. So, you know, rock and roll, baby.
What'd you say to me? What'd you say to me? Out of nowhere, stepped to the door. She had the devil's eyes, that's for sure. Had different faces, looking back at me. One was incognito, you could hardly breathe.